We are back, guys. Welcome to the second game of the evening. Thanks for bearing with us while we dealt with that lobby crash. But we are back indeed with Red Lobby of the NA Amazon or Auzom, excuse me, Auzom Premier League.
Is this official Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon.
Stream.
No.
We're moving up
We
the
are
order,
back, guys. Game number 2 of the evening had a very exciting game one with a very interesting final circle, Dave.
Honestly, I forgot about it. That break threw me off. But I'm ready. I mean, let's all meet at school. Let's all drop at school so we can catch up with this time schedule. Yeah, let's go. I'm ready for it. Game 2, dude. Game 1 was exciting. I know a lot of people were upset about the water ending. Let's hope that we're not in for the same exact storyline this game.
Yeah, exactly. But as they say, that's the way she goes, bud. And already, Dave, we have the plane coming out of the southeastern edge of the map. Going to be cutting fairly evenly through the map, heading towards that South Georgia Pole ending point. So a lot of teams already opting to jump. We see Rush and the rest of their teammates heading towards that Lipovka area. Already, you know, a pretty densely packed Milta Power, as we already see 2 squads landing here. Fignaldo and 100 rounds very, very close to each other as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly sure if this squad dropped here game 1. I am sure that Trigger Happy drops Milta, and as we saw in game 1, Check 6, they go for that long drop on the military base here. But yeah, right now we're looking over here at, I believe this is set to destroy versus Murderous Plush Toys. So if there was going to be a fight break out here, I want to say 100 rounds, as he is 1v2 situation out in the Milta Power, the main spot. So he needs to be extremely careful.
Yeah, Dave, and now that the plane has ejected all of the players, we see that the map is, you know, fairly populated in this central region. We see Optic actually going for this North Georgia Pole area, something that we've seen them do consistently in the past. They're now going back towards this strategy as they have landed there, and they're going to be looting. But yeah, this Milta Power area is certainly densely packed. They have Rush right to the north of them in Lipovka, as some of these teams are now trying to get vehicles to meet up with their teammates and scout out locations. But the first circle is out, Dave, and it is going to be on the west coast this time, still fairly north, similar to our first game of the evening, but it is going to be a little bit more towards that western edge.
Yeah, once again, Check 6 going to have to transition to the zone as they are on the military island. But it's fairly simple. I mean, no one's really blocking them, so they're going to be able to get some sweet loot actually, and pretty much make their way into the zone fairly safe over here, I would assume. But yeah, nothing really sticking out to me besides Murderous Plush Toys and Set Destroy stacked on top of each other. So if we're gonna have an early gunfight, I'm predicting these guys.
Yeah, it looks like Fignaldo has actually spotted Bar Dave over in those priority buildings right there. Going to be taking some shots, not able to connect. Bar Dave using that back of that building for a little bit of cover. Let's exactly see what he's doing. He's able to hop in a UAZ that is right there and get away. He's going to be taking a lot of shots now, though, as Fignaldo has fed this information to his teammate VTV, who is coming around on that eastern flank onto Bar Dave. Bar Dave in the open now. Fignaldo taking some shots, but not able to connect. He has an M416 with a 2x, so definitely has the gun and the ammo to do so, but just not able to, as the trees are now going to block his vision.
Yeah, and 100 rounds is knocked out as well, so not looking too good. They're actually going to pull off. It looked like Major NL was actually working his way over there to get the raise off. The information coming out. Meanwhile, Jasper over here, he's got some decent loot. He's in the zone here, so he's going to have some time to pretty much just loot all these buildings. I don't believe anybody is contesting it. No, he's all by himself right there, so he'll be able to loot these.
Yeah, you certainly will be able to. And something to note here, Dave, is that the Murderous Plush Toys are in sort of a pinch position right now. I mean, if they decide to go westward to loot in Milta, they're going to run into, I believe that's, Trigger Happy, who placed second in the first game of the evening. But if they opt to go towards that eastern position, they're going to be running straight into Set to Destroy, who were taking shots earlier at them. So they're kind of in a tough position right now, as they are going to have to transition very far to get into the next, the first safe zone of game 2 of the evening, Dave. But let's pop over to Optic here and see how they're doing over in North Georgia Pole.
Oh, Optic, they're going to be able to just straight chill as they're in the zone, and they're almost 100% sure that they're by themselves just because of the parachuting. all that information coming out. And if that wasn't enough, there's a crate all the way in the north, and nobody else is near it, so they might actually be able to get all the loot here. And if they did notice that crate, might be able to get the crate in the meantime. But honestly, I don't see them going for the crate, even though, like I said, I would, but I know these guys, they don't really care for these crates.
Yeah, Dave, and look at this. Something to
Again,
note,
yeah,
something that we saw in the first game that you spoke about quite a bit, is that the fact that 17 opted to split, so they're in a 3v1 or a 3-1 formation, which is not something that you see a lot of teams do. They have a lot of faith in 17's ability to survive, given his gun skills and just his knowledge of the game. So very interesting there. It didn't really work out for them at last game, as he was caught out and they weren't able to give any support to him being so far away. But let's keep an eye on this, Dave, and see if they're able to actually make this strategy work.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he has some gear. He's fairly looted out, at least with the basics, right? And this compound in particular that he is at, I don't see anybody necessarily crashing it this early on, so he might be in a good spot for the time.
Yeah, he certainly might be. We'll take a peek at this crate and see what a player might be running into should they cross paths with it. And that's going to be the AUG AUG, the 4x scope military vest. So at least some good armor in there. The ghillie suit also providing a little bit of that camouflage should you opt to get that. So that is going to be in the northern edge of the map, not near any
Boyd
players.
might run into it, right? I mean, if they get a vehicle and just travel that road just into the zone, they might stumble into it. But
yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, it's really all.
Who knows? We see it's Imagine now. He's out there scouting for the rest of his team trifecta in the U.S., trying to find some sort of building to go to. He's going to be opting for these yellow buildings. They just now are rendering in for us on the spectating end of things. So he's going to have these all to himself. So he's going to be, trying to loot and see if any of this has been run through right now, feeding that information to his team that hey guys, I've got a pretty solid compound right now towards the centralized location in the circle, so head on over. The rest of his team being in this apartments area right next to school.
Honestly, looking at the map, that east side, I mean, just look at all the people on the east here. They're gonna have to transition into the zone here, and right now actually they start contracting. I mean, they still have time, but everybody's gonna end up collapsing in one another. And on the actual circle itself, we have a couple of squads already kind of opting into kind of just playing that edge of the circle. So it's gonna be dangerous. It's gonna be hectic here.
Yeah, Optics 17 having spotted Teflon TV of Fury Gaming driving past his compound. 17 being the solo player for Optic down here with the rest of his team in that North Georgia Pole area, as most of the teams now are starting to transition with the blue zone now shrinking in. It's Imagine over here firing some warning shots over at Bar Dave and the murderous plush toys who were going past the compound that It's Imagine was able to secure. Not shots aimed at trying to disable them or get the kills, but just shots to try to deter them from coming to that compound, as he is a solo player. So any engagement with a squad, he would be severely at a disadvantage given the fact that his teammates are still over in that apartments area. So good shots coming out of
Team
Imagine.
Ready taking shots at Baja Waka as he's trying to make it to his teammate. Yeah, see, this is Team Ready right here. Baja Waka getting shot up. U.S. is kind of smoking already. Where is he going to go? He's opting to kind of go back in the same direction he came from because he knows he's safe, at least in that general direction. But it seems like he was trying to make the pickup on 17. And he's determined, as he does seem to be going around this Mount Everest, but he's not going to have any more luck going that way either.
Yeah, and Bar Dave now, the murderous plush toys, taking some shots from Elusive Gaming over in the Gadka area. They are going to be spotting them out just to the southeast of God Mountain over there in those yellow houses. So taking a few shots, not able to connect very much with anything, but they are also in a little bit of a split themselves, as the rest of their team of Elusive Gaming hangs across the road just to the north, feeding this information. Now shots are coming out from both duos onto this murderous plush toy duo down over at these yellow houses, Dave.
Yeah, and I saw on the kill feed, just to follow up, Baja Waka actually being taken out there on the way to pick up 17. So he's probably going to be out the game, as it's just too risky to get him there. Yeah, he's all. But just wanted to follow up on that previous story. So zones pushing in. As I mentioned, all those teams in the east, they're kind of spread out right now. Especially like Rush, they're not really all in a formation together. They're kind of spread out. They all have vehicles, so they got that going for them. Whoa, with the run over. Sick plays, 5 points.
Yeah, that's going to be A6 from fadeaway 3 coming in to finish the kill onto Baja Waka, who was rotating out of that North Georgia Pole spot, possibly trying to reunite with his solo teammate down here, 17. So unfortunate ending for Baja Waka, but they are going to be left with 3 alive still. So Optic still in a position to vie for one of these top placements. Blue still coming in, pushing these eastern teams out. We see most of these teams have vehicles, so they are going to make a fast transition into this circle, not taking too much blue damage, but it will be tough as we do have shots already coming out as Hooligans has spotted out one of these squads transitioning. That is going to be the Slime Squad. Shots are ringing out from both of these teams, but neither want to take any sort of long engagement and get stuck in this blue and have to be one of the final teams rotating into this circle, where there will certainly be gatekeepers on the edge.
Yeah, almost all these guys up in the north, and they all have vehicles. All the members have vehicles, so there's just so many vehicles coming in right now, coming in hot here. Let's see who, Jet Life actually getting out for just a second, maybe trying to take some shots, but opting to get back on this 3-seater and just get into zone, because really whoever gets here first, they're going to be able to hop out, maybe even make a little car compound and just lay down the fire on these guys transitioning.
Yeah, we have some shots coming out from the passenger seats in these cars right here on the eastern edge of the map. But, I mean, all of these squads are going to be running into each other pretty much on this northeastern edge of the map, as Rush Lazy has now found that crate that dropped at the beginning of the map that we were talking about. So they're going to be able to get that very easily, but I expect a lot of conflict to now be happening as Carbon XYZ has spotted out Fuzzy Potato and the rest of Hooligans taking some shots at this shack. He's got some cover, but not able to connect enough. They are going to end up, being pushed by the zone and have more people coming to their north, but yeah, a very tricky position these teams on the eastern edge have gotten themselves into.
Yeah, definitely a close call there, but the Hooligans being able to survive that pass by on the Slime Squad right here. Slime Squad, first place winners of game 1 here, so they're definitely a squad to not take lightly.
Yeah, the Havoc Pigeon taking some shots right there from the Slime Squad, gets taken down fairly low. Is going to pop some painkillers while he has Set to Destroy actually rotating right next to him on the road in the Dacia. He's got Allogene in the car. That's going to be Rift and Allogene now. Traveling over here, getting very close onto the path where Rush was taking earlier, so they might be running into one another. But look at that circle, guys. It is opted to be a land circle, so not the water that we were looking at in that first game, but it's going to push a lot of these teams here that just rotated from the eastern edge of the map to this north side. It's going to push them south into the Georgia Pole area, where a lot of squads are lying in wait. Many of these squads already opting to secure compounds that were luckily in the circle, Dave.
And talking about those squads in the north, I mean, you really only have a couple options to get to the circle. And 2 of those bridges, Optic, they're actually overlooking them. Or they were, but they're kind of just hovering around that zone. And then to the west, Team Ready, they're actually around that other bridge as well. So it's going to be interesting if we're going to have any of these bridge campers out here tonight, as this is an interesting play. Optic actually going back out when they were in the circle here.
Yeah, Optic still hasn't met up with 17, who has been a solo player for pretty much this entire game, Dave. I mean, he's been able to defend this building quite well in terms of deterring other teams from investigating a little too far onto this compound, but they still have not reunited, as now they have opted to go back to this North Georgia Pole area, getting a little bit further from 17 himself. He's going to be still taking some shots at this ump, possibly conserving any of the 5.56 that he might have. I mean, I believe, yeah, he's got the M16 on his back, so definitely, just trying to put out some sort of warning shots to these surrounding teams that might collapse onto this building.
Yeah, it looked like Optic was actually going for the rotation to take the other bridge into the zone, but they're actually running into some trouble up there, as Hooligans is going to play gatekeeper now. I mean, this is what I was questioning earlier. I wasn't exactly sure the thought process, but maybe they just assumed there would be a safer route, but they're finding out the hard way right now.
Yeah, certainly in a risky position right now. The only way for Optic to get across this is to either effectively go in the water or cross this bridge. If they go in the water, they probably don't have enough time to actually make that transition. So it's very imperative for them to land these shots onto the Hooligans members who have taken cover on this bridge.
Yeah, and if that was enough, yeah, Hooligans actually securing the bridge on the opposite and taking out some members of Rush here. So now we're going to be in this bridge fight between I believe this is 2 members of Optic versus 3 members or 4 of the Hooligan.
Yeah, it's a full Hooligan squad right now on the bridge. They have 2 players. Or no, it looks like, Dave, actually, look at this. The Hooligans players right here on the bridge even though their teammates have secured that other end, they're opting to jump off the bridge and go for that swimming strategy.
That's interesting.
A very interesting play, as we were just talking about it. With the blue zone coming in, they have a long way to go to actually get there. This is going to be Hetror and Hypoc now with pretty much free reign to get across this bridge. They've got the vehicle, and it is at full health as well. So certainly a means of transitioning across this, as pretty much the rest of Hooligans now have departed. Fuzzy Potato still holding this just as a solo, essentially.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Let's see if Fuzzy Potato can hold this bridge. But with that information coming out from the previous kind of engagement, Optic actually opting not to take that bridge. So they're gonna actually go back to where they came from in the first place. So they're gonna be able to make it in this zone.
Yeah, they will be able to make it into the zone, so they're very fortunate for that. 17, though, still in this building. A lot of squads now starting to collapse onto his position. As we see, he is pretty much just surrounded, but still taking those shots, not afraid to take these engagements. So, it's certainly interesting. He, as you can see, he's really not going for anything other than deterrent shots, which is, something if you're not in the pro scene, I mean, you might mistake, actually. You might think that he's trying to, get these kills, but no, he's just trying to keep them away from the compound currently. And we have shots then coming out also from the Sweaty Nerds, who are over here on this hill just outside of the Gadka area, a little bit to the east of it, taking some shots at Puniji and the rest of the Slime Squad, who got first place in the first game of the night, Dave.
Yeah, 17 definitely knows how to pick these compounds in a circle here. But look at his teammates. I know we keep talking about Optic, but they're kind of the story right now, as they're just trying to meet back up with 17, and they're actually transitioning, getting shot by multiple squads in the way. But it looks like they're going to be able to make it there. So home sweet home after all for those guys.
Yeah, it was certainly a long route to get there.
An epic battle.
Yeah, an epic adventure to get back to their teammate 17, but they did, and they're gonna now have their 3 players all together ready to protect this compound even further. It is actually,
it's not in the zone.
Yeah, unfortunately it's not in the zone. Our new circle is up. It's gonna be centered directly on Gadka, where we have a few teams that have already been kind of focusing on this. We have Trigger Happy taking some shots right now, cover fire, trying to connect onto any of the members of Team Ready that have been driving past this compound. Not able to yet. Looks like Team Ready has 4 cars, 1 member in each car, trying to get out of there, but a tire is popped on that buggy. All tires are now popped on that buggy. He's spinning out. The car is now smoking. He's going to try to do whatever he can. That's going to be Mert Gungor trying to get out of there with his life, but ends up getting knocked by Machine Gunner.
Oh, he's taking out the game here. And it looks like Team Ready, they're kind of just circling these fields, trying to look for a safe spot, as they all had vehicles, and losing one of these members of theirs transition there from Trigger Happy, as Trigger Happy has quite the spot. They have quite the spot.
Yeah, a lot of these compounds right here that were taken early by Trigger Happy, Slime Squad, and right here Team Ready as well, also getting a good compound. But I mean, everyone is effectively going through a gauntlet. Any team trying to transition through this circle is getting shot by at least 2 squads at once.
Yeah.
So a lot of damage is going out. This transition period right now, given this circle, is incredibly dangerous.
It's interesting. No one's actually in the center of Gatka. Those little compounds right there. Maybe they're just too dangerous to get to, but in this current circle, it's actually strong. Oh, we're actually getting a push coming in over here from Set to Destroy and Squad Exclusive Gaming. Taking off. I mean, this is a heavily contested compound right now. What's going to happen? The smokes are out. We got the 2-2 split going on from Elusive Gaming, so they're definitely going to hold these 2 buildings here. Well, let's see what Set to Destroy can do with only 3 members in the actual complexes, and then 1 VTV kind of providing that cover fire from outside.
Yeah, certainly Elusive Gaming holding these buildings very effectively currently, trying to peek out the window, as Fignaldo and the rest of his squad of Set to Destroy have very aggressively pushed into these buildings, trying to secure this compound as a whole. Fignaldo is going to be eyeing these 2 windows where he has previously seen members of Elusive in that house, ends up taking a few shots. Not able to connect with any himself, but smokes are now coming out, possibly to provide some sort of confusion or cover. We're going to see what Fignaldo was able to do as he's peeking more aggressively into these windows, trying to spot the remaining members of Elusive that he didn't see in the previous house.
Yeah, well, that smoke allowing VTV to make that push to get closer to his actual squad there. So just in case Fignaldo might go down, because he is by himself right now, he'll be able to get the raise off here. But these guys are in a crossfire, actually, as they're getting shot as well from another squad on the outside, just trying to take some pot shots, and Fignato actually being taken down in the process here. He most likely will be able to get the raise up as all the members are there. But look at Trifecta. They're passing by as well. This zone is just getting out of control.
Yeah, certainly this zone is providing for a lot of chaotic battles that have began to erupt pretty much everywhere, as we see the southwestern edge of the zone, Dave, is a hotbed for action. Snakers being taken down, Elected being downed, but Fury's product Envy being down as well. So it is a 2v3 scenario right here, as the rest of Fury Gaming is trying to engage on Team Hooligans down here. Fuzzy Potato and Need Medium Lone, the only remaining members up for Hooligans, trying to med through this blue zone, taking some damage and trying to disengage off of this, as they know they are as severely at a disadvantage in terms of this 4-man squad of Fury Gaming up here on the hill.
Yeah, it seems like since Fury Gaming does have the full 4 members up, they're actually at the advantage in this current situation. But like you said, both these squads, they got to push, and we're turning our hands, or our spectating cam, back to the center of the circle. Trigger Happy, that 2-2 split, going to be able just to make sure that they hold these compounds that are just so strong in the circle. So their main focus is just not to get crashed on. Right? Yeah, and if they do, survive.
You know, I actually really like Trigger Happy's position here. You know, they've got a 2-2 split, which, you know, is sometimes risky. But if you have good team synergy, if you have those good comms and you're able to protect each other and watch your angles effectively, then it really, you know, provides a significant advantage. But looking at this, look at the real estate that Trigger Happy's holding right now. They hold a lot of real estate in this next circle, where not many of their teams that are remaining. 15 teams still alive, David, and the 16-game lobby are going to have to move into this circle that, you know, there really isn't a lot of real estate. Shots now ringing out all over the place, as, you know, two team members of the Slime Squad, our first place team, are now taken out, trying to push into this building where Team Ready has taken cover. Matthew taking a lot of shots, but able to get the knock on the roll shine. Sixmo hopping out of the window, getting the flank on to Matthew, and he gets the down. So 1 member left for the rest of Slime Squad, as Jetlife, Matthew, and Carbon XYZ are taking down. They are going to be bleeding out very fast, and yep, dying indeed. Poonage, the only remaining member of the Slime Squad, trying to figure out what he's going to do here. It looks like he's going to opt to rotate out of there, just trying to peek, get some information, but certainly not a fight that he wants to take. An unfortunate, you know, situation for the Slime Squad to run into right there.
He just needs to go for placements right now. He's the only member left. That's still 14 teams alive here. Still early to go out. But we're back over here in this fight that was kind of from earlier. These guys not in the zone. Zone is pushing up here. Both of these squads are going to have to push. And there's a total of 4 squads kind of all packed in this general area right here. So it's going to get hectic, as it looks like Fizzle, he is in the zone. He has the spot. I believe he's like huddled up at like a truck over there. So he's going to be able to provide some cover fire. But honestly, you have Check 6 on the outskirts of this, kind of overlooking all this. So even if these guys do make it into the zone, they're just going to get sprayed upon.
Yeah, and VTV aggressively rushing this building. Blank tries to hop out to provide some sort of confusion, but VTV peeks out of the balcony, ends up spotting him after getting it down on Snorlax as well. The remaining 3 members of Set to Destroy now pushing up in this building, trying to secure this kill onto Snorlax. They're going to be looking to see if any other members are in the house. Not seeing anyone, they will come back to finish this kill and loot Snorlax up and get ready to transition. Now, they're not going to be in the circle currently, and we'll have to push down. And, you know, look at this, Dave. Fizzle from Elusive Gaming, the remaining member of that squad, knows exactly what just happened. He's hiding in a very, you know, sort of a campy position where he can get a drop on these guys if they are not careful.
At 6, right next to him, though. They're overlooking this. They heard all that. Look at, they're pinpointed right on top of these guys, and they're in the zone right now. So they're going to be able just to try to get the kills as they transition there. And Fizzle, all he has to do is just lay in that truck and survive. I mean, honestly, let Check 6 do the heavy lifting right now.
Yeah, exactly. Allergene trying to see if he can spot out any of the members. He possibly got some information that Check 6 was sort of waiting over there on the western edge of where this compound was. Not spotting anyone yet. They're going to have to move out now as the next circle has presented itself there. And look at that, going a little bit southwest of Gatka, as now Optic is in an engagement. They were able to get a knock onto their final kill on the Havoc Pigeon, actually. So Hypoc taking a lot of damage in the process, but was able to pick up a ghillie suit and an M249. So not a bad gun for him to have. He's got the ghillie suit, which provides a lot of cover. And Optic still has 3 teammates up after losing Baja Waka earlier in the match.
Yeah. I mean, Optic, they're getting shot left and right by Trigger Happy, but I'm looking at Fizzle still. He's hiding. This guy is just hiding in the bed of that truck. He's still alive. They walked right past him, but they seem to have an idea that he kind of retreated this way as they are sweeping the area. Elijah is in the back here just in case Fizzle does decide to kind of spray him down here. But Fizzle, man, wow. You better be counting your blessings right now. He's going to be able to come on the backside of this.
Yeah, and something to note, this is exactly what Fizzle is seeing. He was not able to see those members rotating there. He just had to listen for any sort of audio cues, such as footsteps coming by him. He's now opting to peek, has no helmet, so a very risky peek indeed, as the set to destroy is now rotated over to the western edge of the circle, straight into check 6. Yeah. They get the down onto Biss, who who goes down and effectively has no teammates near him to pick him up. They're going to finish that off as the 2 remaining members of check 6 now are trying to hide behind this rock. Rift and the rest of Set to Destroy certainly aware of their presence, as it was just a down onto Biss.
Yeah, so I mean, right now the zone's pushing in, so we literally have fights going on everywhere. But it's really Trigger Happy. They got that 2-2 split going on, so they're going to need to defend their compounds right now, as they are looking enticing to anybody that is attempting to get into the zone. So they're going to really need to stand their ground. And we're watching cover fire right now, taking some shots, actually getting it down, I believe, on member from off. But all these zones, just hectic. But really, Trigger Happy, they have to be loving it. They have to be feeling really good right now.
Yeah, Trigger Happy has really just been the story of this game. Being able to effectively hold these 2 very attractive compounds in a 2-2 split is just incredible. And their ability to watch these flanks and sort of referee these battles that are erupting all over the edges of the circle, Dave, is just providing a lot of kills for them, a lot of points that they're going to be racking up in addition to their placement points if they're able to continue this and get a top 3 finish. We see them now engaging onto Major and L and the rest of their squad of murderous plush toys who are trying to secure any sort of position in the northeastern edge of the circle.
Just taking them apart left and right. 7 teams left in this game. Circle almost fully contracted. Let's see. Set to destroy. Everybody's gonna have to push into this one as nobody is in it here. So Trigger Happy, so long to those sweet compounds.
Yep, Hypoc for Optic is now engaging onto the Sweaty Nerds over on the centralized southern edge of this circle. Now throwing out some smokes, I believe. Yep, trying to provide some cover right there. That is a nade actually going off as well. So they're just throwing whatever they can over there. That's going to be 2 nades going off and 1 smoke. 17, ends up getting knocked out. He is not going to be able to provide any sort of cover. He is a little bit separated from them as Machine Gunner for Trigger Happy just keeps raining down shots on the outside of this circle. I mean, these teams are just engaging on each other on the outside, Dave. But little do they know that that Trigger Happy is exactly that, just sitting in these buildings. Trigger Happy aiming down on all of these squads. I mean, they get knocked and they think that they might have cover, but not from the Trigger Happy squads and these 2 buildings right here.
But cover fire and fear me. They're actually getting pushed on right now by Murderous Plush Toys. They had enough of this. They know that they're in this compound as they saw a frag come out from cover fire. They actually got 2 members from Set to Destroy. But let's see. They're peeking the corner. What are they going to do here? I mean, if you're Trigger Happy, I don't know. This is going to be a hard push to defend against here. Whoa, in the face. Actually, one getting taken down. I take that back. These guys are protecting this house. They're not going to let anybody rob them of their victory coming in here tonight. Let's see.
Cover fire ending up trying to come in here and counter or stop the push that was just happening from the Murderous Plush Toys, is effectively able to do so and wipes them out. So he's going to now try to pop back in here and see if he can get shots on Mr. Fuzzy HD, but is not able to. And this is the fear that you run into when you were in that 2-2 split, Dave, being so separated from your teammates that you're not able to do anything. But a valiant effort from cover fire to try to hold that building, was able to take out 3 members of the Murderous Plush Toys. So just down to Mr. Fuzzy HD in this compound. But that is going to still leave 2 though, for Trigger Happy.
That's still a win.
Yeah, it's not bad for them. Exactly. They were able to pick up at least the 3 for 2 trade, which gives them the points, gives them the 3 kills, but leaves Trigger Happy now with just Machine Gunner traded up with good cover, however, in this circle.
Yeah, Schraden's already shooting fuzz. They both are, as obviously they know where he's at just because of that last fight here. But they're gonna need to be careful as ACO for show kind of right behind them. So I'm not sure if they are aware. I mean, I see Machine Gunner Ticker kind of looking that way. So they got the zone, they got the circle. These guys have just been playing phenomenal with these circles. So let's see if they can defend it here. And they actually did get revenge over there in the north. So now it's a 2v1v1.
Yeah, Shraded ended up taking out Mr. Fuzzy HD with the AK-47. So that's going to be knocking the Murderous Plush Toys out in 4th place as we have 3 teams remaining and only 4 players, Dave. So it is a 2v1v1 as we have Rush's Lazy over here on the western edge of the circle and Machine Gunner and the rest of Trigger Happy now pretty much rushing up to Ako for show over here on the southern edge. He's going to be taking out by Shraded with the AK headshot. So amazing shots coming out from Shraded this match as he is now looking, trying to see if he can find where the remaining member on the map is. Yep, 2 teams, 3 players, a 1v2 situation. Will Rush be able to counter the 2v1 advantage that Trigger Happy currently has? Only time will tell, Dave, but he is certainly trying to bide his time and see where this next circle is going to push, as he only has 30 seconds until this blue zone will be pushing him out.
Yeah, I mean, Lazy has the ghillie. He has the suppressed guard. He's got 20 seconds to go, so let's see what he can do here. Honestly, if I was him, I would have been crawling up to this rock at least a little sooner, but he doesn't know, right? He doesn't know that he's against a 2-man squad. It could be all solos for all he knows. So he's playing this extremely passive and just gonna try his best here. Win this one for Rush.
Yeah, essentially doing what they can. It doesn't seem that Trigger Happy has been able to spot him out, so they are trying to play up maybe a little bit more carefully towards any of the angles where they might be suspect of Rush's Lazy. Yeah, Gunner is now going to be splitting off a little bit, trying to watch some of the other angles, leaving Shraded a little bit more of the final circle to watch himself. Gunner is going to be securing the position in the safe zone, actually, while Shraded kind of hangs out on the southwestern edge of that circle. Rush Lazy not exactly in the zone himself. The blue is now pushing in, and with this, they have spotted him out. He had to move. Lazy had to get out of that position with the ghillie suit, and Shraded immediately spotted him with the AK-47, bringing up a total of 13 kills for this Trigger Happy squad, and they are just performing incredibly this evening, Dave. A 2nd place finish in our first game of the evening, and now taking it home with a 1st place finish in addition to 13 kills.
Yeah, I mean, that rock, I mean, it's the only spot he could have been at, right? Because they pretty much secured that whole sector of their zone right there. So, you know, towards the end, it wasn't in the circle either. So really the odds against Rush Lazy were definitely against him there. But just his ability, I'm not exactly sure what led up to that, but his ability to get that 2nd place spot for his team, that's going to come in handy here as the leaderboards are being tallied up. But yeah, Trigger Happy, another phenomenal game. I mean, they're coming in here with something to prove, and they are definitely proving it for sure. We still have 2 more games here. So, I mean, I'm excited. 2 more games.
Yeah, I'm certainly excited for what is to come. We are halfway through the games of this evening. A very exciting first 2 games. And, you know, let's take a look at some of these teams, Dave. Our scores have not yet updated from round 1. But, you know, be refreshing the website to look out for that, as well as the scores from round 2 being tallied up. But Dave, you know, a lot of our teams in here performing very well tonight and sort of shaking up the leaderboards. You know, we do see some consistency coming out of Trigger Happy this evening. But for the most part, you know, our top 5 are going to be new players that we didn't see in the top 5 previously. So, you know, I'm interested to see how these leaderboards are going to be shaping up. As you can see, some of our circle settings that we use in competitive, as well as our point structure. So, you know, as you see, 7 points per kill. So 13 kills, you know, that's going to be effectively, what, 91 points, Dave? Quick math right there, but 91 points right there, in addition to their points for landing that first place position. So guys, with that, we are going to now throw it over to a quick intermission while we get the 3rd game of the evening set up. This is going to be the end of the 2nd game for the Auzom Premier League Season 2 Week 5 Red Lobby. Yeah, make sure to refresh those scores on the website for any of the updates as they get tallied in. But guys, I'm going to be Esquire, joined by Mustache Dave. We're heading off to the intermission now, and we'll be back with you shortly.